Your Partner in Success Radio is a free business podcast with host Denise Griffiths. It's all about great stories, conversation, and context to help you move your business and life forward with actionable tips and advice from her guest experts. To listen and subscribe, just find us on iTunes, Google Play, or wherever you consume your podcasts.
Good morning and welcome to your Partner in Success Radio. My guest today, Indrek, joins us from Estonia, and he told me not to even try to pronounce his last name because Americans can't do it, apparently. So I'm going to refer to him as Indrek, a LinkedIn expert. And he is an entrepreneur, a consultant, and a LinkedIn specialist known for his expertise in sales, marketing, and coaching. And he is widely recognized as Mr. LinkedIn Estonia. And that's due to his proficiency in leveraging the platform for business strategies. As the founder of B2B Growth, a Microsoft partner company, Indrek focuses on helping businesses transform their operations through effective LinkedIn strategies. I don't know about y'all. I don't use Facebook anymore largely because they took away my access for no reason that I'm aware of, and I can't get them to restore it. So I'm spending a lot more time on LinkedIn. And I'm realizing that I don't really know much about it. So I'm really glad to have this conversation with him. And his expertise, his experience extends beyond his own success because he has a record, can't talk, of assisting other companies in improving their sales and marketing efforts. Good morning, Indrek. Before we get started, can you share a bit about yourself with our audience and how you like to show up in the world?
Yeah, hi Denise. Good morning to you and to everybody who is listening. So, greetings from Spain. So for me, it's the afternoon or in the evening already. So with my last name, yeah. So my second letter is a letter that you guys do not even have in the alphabet. It's an U, so we call it. So that's why I tell people like it's easier not try not to pronounce it because it's totally fine. So and I'm really happy to be in this podcast with you, and thank you for having me. So and you asked how describe myself, and I think you hit the nail in the head, so to say, when you went. I'm an entrepreneur. I love entrepreneurship and everything what comes with it, the rise and ups and downs, so to say, the American mountains, so to say, you say like up and down. And I really enjoy how I don't know if your listeners or a guy called Simon Sinek, and he says like people he doesn't like when people are defined by titles, but being a optimistic entrepreneur, you can be whatever you want. Basically, you can be a cook, you can be a business builder, you can be a LinkedIn expert, you can be a podcast host, whatever. There is no title that defines you, and I really like to define similarly, so to say, like a optimistic entrepreneur who likes to do many things. And right now my focus is helping companies with their LinkedIn, with personal accounts, with company accounts, and happy to dive in all of the questions you and the discussion we had today. So shortly.
I have a whole bunch of them. As I mentioned, several months ago, all of a sudden, I couldn't get into Facebook. I've been in there for 19 years with zero problems, zero. And all of a sudden, I couldn't get back in. And it doesn't matter what I try or what they send me, I still can't get back in. So I finally basically just said, oh, to heck with you. I don't even care anymore, except that I've got 19 or 20 years of memories and photos, and I'd like to retrieve those, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So I switched over, and I've always been on LinkedIn, but I've never gotten very serious about it. And I recognized pretty quickly it's time to get serious about showing up on LinkedIn, connecting with people. And you know what I do? I'm a web developer, I'm a podcaster. I need to be in a more B2B, uh, I don't even know how to say it, business persona. So here I am, and I'm so glad you're here because I do have questions. And one of them, Indrek, is how can professionals like me effectively use LinkedIn to build meaningful business connections in 2025? It's a new year. We're ready
Mhm.
to rock and roll.
Yeah, so That's interesting with the Facebook, because I have a couple of acquaintances who have the same challenges, that their accounts have been blocked. This also might happen in LinkedIn. It's not something that only happens in Facebook. It just happens in LinkedIn. When your account gets blocked, there are a couple of reasons. One is like if too many people have access to your account, which I really don't recommend. That only you should have access, or if you're getting an assistant, somebody is posting or doing something for you together with you, like, but you need to be extremely careful where the person is located, because if LinkedIn detects that there are a couple of people who are in different countries, they will automatically suspend your account, or if you're using software that is not allowed, for example, automation, etc. So, and if LinkedIn detects these things, then also your account will be blocked, and you can open it if you send your ID and etc. But your question is with LinkedIn, like how professionals can start a kickstart in the year 2025. And as you mentioned in before, like we like to help with companies or people with strategic advice. And the strategic thinking for LinkedIn, what would I recommend is, first, think, why do you want to use LinkedIn? What is the purpose? For example, if the purpose is to get sales or to find partners or build personal brand, that's where everything starts. You need to know why you're doing it. It's just that, hey, let's go to LinkedIn and see what's happening. It is good, but it doesn't give you any outcomes, or there is no purpose. So if you know your goal, let's say you want to get new customers, that's basically sales goal. Okay. Now then you need to define who is your ideal audience. Who's your ideal customers? And we are talking about ideal customers, not everybody, because if I talk with companies, for example, designers or web developers, they can say, "Hey, everybody is my company. Everybody today needs a website." But actually, do you want to work with everybody? So that's why defining your ideal customer might be more challenging than people think about it, because first you need to choose the region. It's not US. The region could be like only like Texas or only New York or etc. That already is a huge, so to say, region that you want to focus on. Then you need to choose the industry. What is the industry that you would like to, who you have success and etc. So there are over 180 different industries you can select in LinkedIn. And then you need to choose the company size, and then you need to choose the job title of these people that you are wanted to influence. So we wanted to work together. So these are the things you need to first think about before you start to, if you want to have like success in LinkedIn, because what we learned, a lot of people have used LinkedIn maybe 10 years, 15 years, but most of the people have random network. They accept everybody, or they never had thought about it. Who are the people I would like to surround myself? What are the job titles? How big companies do they work with? And etc. 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 Because if you don't know these things, then it's really difficult to have success there. So now I went to a long rant. So you can let me know if this made sense, or you can ask questions. And
I have to tell you, I've been there probably as long as I've been on Facebook, which is about 18 years. I'd have to go look. But it never occurred to me that I probably didn't really care if I was seen outside, or my region is the United States. That's where, most of my people find me. I guess I'm going to have to go look at that. And I'll be honest with you, I really loved Facebook for the longest kind of time, but it was more of a conversation. It was a lot of fun. Business to business on LinkedIn, I didn't find it all that much fun. And I
yeah.
didn't pay proper attention to it. And I know that now. And it's never too late. And I get that. But that's why we're talking. But it occurs to me that I need to go back and figure out who I'm attracting. Who is listening to me. I get a lot of people coming in from
Yeah.
countries. Oh, I'm an Apple expert. Oh, I can help you with your podcast. Leave me alone. You're coming from Pakistan. You're coming from countries that I don't do business with. So I just block them. I don't even bother anymore to say no because they come in daily. But you do have to be careful. And I like that you said that you do have to be careful who you accept. You
Mm.
don't just put them in a big old pile and say, "Hey, hi, how are you doing?" and then forget all about it.
Yeah. And also, yeah, people like you, like who have a podcast or are decision makers, you guys might get like maybe 10 to 50 invitations per day in LinkedIn. So and then again, like the same strategies hold, like who are the people you are accepting to your network also, like not everybody, but I would recommend to think like the people that you would like to work with, or you see that you have another other strategic
Okay.
possibilities with these people, like maybe they are in some industry where you would like to go in the future, and etc., etc., etc. So it really, really matters who are the people in your network. And now this doesn't mean that you need to start deleting people in your network, and etc., or whatever the thing is. It just start adding more quality network people, the people you would like to be surrounded with, and who you can see that can assist you in the next year or 2 years, or working together, or you want to learn from them. Because again, like it's like you have many wonderful people from US who say the same sentences. I love it. Like, you are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. That is the same in social media, because in LinkedIn especially, because it's, as you mentioned, business to business, and the people you are accepting to your network and the content they are producing, you are reading the content. The more quality content you are getting from them, the more you learn from them, the more you can build authentic relationship with these people, and the more you will develop a relationship with these people. So again, like that's the whole point of LinkedIn, is building relationships. And the biggest difference, for example, for me with Facebook or Instagram, LinkedIn is for business and Facebook is for entertainment. That doesn't mean that you can Facebook and Instagram are amazing selling platforms, but these are, you are selling their so to say a small amount of products and etc. Like, I mean, like sunglasses, etc. You don't sell sunglasses in LinkedIn. You the companies who produce sunglasses, you sell containers full of you want to look for these 1 or 2 partners who will buy like 10 containers or 20 containers of them. That is the difference, because in Facebook you are selling to consumer, but in LinkedIn you're selling to business, and in business to business deals take time. You need to nurture the relationships and etc. Like that's really, really important. I think a lot of people have not thought about it, or they don't focus on it at all. So just an ideas.
Good. And I agree with you. And I was smart enough, even from the beginning, to find people that I wanted to connect with largely, I have two companies, web development and podcasting, and those are my buckets, if you will. And I've always looked for people, not necessarily to sell them anything, but to just, as you say, learn from them, watch them. I have learned so much from watching many of my connections, so many of them. And in some ways, I consider them to be my mentors. I mean, I watch what they're writing about, I watch what they're talking about, and then I
Mm-hmm.
go kind of scope them out, online. So I get what and I did do that. So I'm proud I got something right. But and I didn't even realize that Facebook, and I did, I guess, but about Facebook being consumer to consumer, it was always a lot of fun, but I never took it very seriously and tried to sell anything over there because I knew better. At some level, I knew better. I knew it wasn't my market. Instagram, and that's a weird thing. I'm out of Facebook, but Instagram works just fine.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't even care anymore. But what
Mm,
are you seeing? Let's talk about branding. What are
mm,
some of the biggest mistakes that you see professionals making on LinkedIn? Probably I've done it. I'm asking so I can figure out if I've done it. What are
mm,
the biggest mistakes that sabotage our personal brands? Because I started out on LinkedIn strictly as a personal brand.
mm. Yeah, yeah. And it's for personal brand and also the company brands. Like, and the thing is, it's difficult for me to say that these are the mistakes. No, it's just these are the things that the companies and also the people, they don't know about it, or they never thought about it, or how they can improve. I don't like to say people that you made these mistakes because, oh, you are bad and stuff. No, it's just you didn't know these things, and it's totally fine. You can always correct and get better.
And
That's
that's why I'm talking with you because I don't think I've made any massive mistakes. I don't know anybody has, but we do want to get better. So I'm
of
so
course.
glad you're here.
Yeah, and happy to. And again, I'm giving my opinion. Yeah, it depends, like who resonates it and who doesn't. So, but again, like The first thing again with the personal branding, what the biggest challenge is, again, like the beginning, what I mentioned, you don't have a clear goal. What is the purpose of your personal brand? What do you want to do? What is the purpose of your personal brand? Why you want to build it? Is it again just to get known, or just to get known in your industry, or you want to sell something, or you finding collaboration partners? Having these strategic and then mapping out your ideal audience. If you have done these things, if you know your ideal audience, for example, are CEOs of financial companies, sizes 50 to 200 people, then if you know this, then it's much easier to make quality content for them, because you know that you're writing for CEOs with up to 200 people, and you start to build content that will be beneficial for these people. Or with your personal brand, for example, let's take you in podcasting. I am sure you have thousands of stories that you can post about what you have learned in podcasting, basically becoming known as the podcast queen that you are. Or I love that you had nerd in
I'm a
stilettos.
nerd in stilettos. I
Exactly.
am. That's the
Exactly.
truth.
So,
That's the God's honest truth. I have a closet full of stilettos.
yeah.
It looks like Nordstrom's threw up in there, and I have a computer science degree. I am a nerd.
Perfect. And I think this is an amazing angle to take. Like you take podcasting as a nerd in stilettos, and your angle of it, what you have learned in this podcasting industry. What are the typical mistakes people make in podcasting? Why is this? Why there are, so to say, so like, what is your opinion of why people or women in tech are not speaking out more, etc. So there are a lot of angles you can cover with the content like that. And some of the mistakes are, the biggest mistake are people don't take personal brands seriously enough. And the other thing is consistency. LinkedIn loves when people are consistent, and that means 2 posts a week, every Monday or every Thursday, whatever the days are, whatever the thing is, and you do it consistently. And also, the other thing is, it's not only content that matters in LinkedIn. So LinkedIn knows, for example, how the algorithm works. They know that 80 to 90% of LinkedIn members never comment, like, or share your post. That's almost like 80 to 90% of people never do it. But LinkedIn measures the time, how long time people read your post. So your post, if you know your target audience, if it's valuable for them, you're giving them guidance, you're giving them expertise, you're sharing your own knowledge, you're showing who you are, and you're also vulnerable. You say whatever the stories are, the challenges, whatever the things are, people love it because you're authentic, and they start reading it. And then the second thing that is really important in LinkedIn is commenting other people's posts and starting discussions. That is what helps to build authentic relationships, when you start commenting. And there are other LinkedIn experts that they say about, if you want to make it really if you want to be serious in LinkedIn and want to really build your LinkedIn personal brand, then up 30 to 50 comments per day you need to make. So for example, if you have an hour per day to LinkedIn, then 10 minutes should be posting your post, and the next 15 minutes should be commenting other people's posts. And the people you're commenting, they should also be your target audience that you are after, or you want to build a relationship with, because these are the people, when you write a comment, they will come to your profile, they will take a look at your profile, who you are. And again, like, one of the mistakes that I see a lot is profiles, company and personal profiles are not optimized at all. They have your personal picture, and then they have your headline, let's say like head of marketing, and that's it. It needs to be optimized more and more and more. Your background images, the headline should be what is the value you're giving to others, not your job title, and etc. There are a lot of things to do there. But again, like, I went very long. I gave you a lot of a lot of information, so you can uh, let me know what was made sense, and where to continue.
sense. And Indrek, I take a lot of notes when I'm talking with my guests because, listen,
Mm.
I genuinely view my guests as my mentors. I learn so much from you guys. And when I say I take notes, I'm on page 2 already. But what I wrote is what we were just talking about, and I outlined it and wrote critical on top of it. And you're talking about commenting. And that doesn't mean just liking. And I'm guilty of this. And I'm so glad you're calling me out without knowing that you're calling me out. But I do a lot of liking, but I don't take the time. Shame on me to go, comment on it or go find people, as you said, that I would like to connect with and comment there. That is so darn easy to understand. Why don't I do it? Well, I will be going forward.
Mm-hmm. And again, like it's not a shame on you or something like that. It's just people don't know it, or people don't think about it, or people are just afraid to
No.
comment. They don't
Yeah.
know what should I
Yeah.
comment, or how should I write the comment, or they overthink so much. Like, oh my God, if I write this comment, and what people think about me, or etc. I mentored a person who it took her 20 to 30 minutes to write one comment, and that she was happy, and that's not a healthy way to continue with that. That takes much time.
No.
But it just start. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But the thing with with comments is like we with the algorithm, how LinkedIn is, that one comment that is longer than 8 words equals 10 to 15 likes.
And I'm writing that down. Okay, so a minute ago you said how many we should be commenting on if we really, really, really want to up our game in LinkedIn. Did you say it was 50 or more? I was
Yeah,
scribbling.
it's 25 to 30 comments per day, but again, like it depends on the
25.
time or what
Okay.
you want to do, and who are the people. It's even better, even great if you do five comments a day, 10 comments, and then you grow, because again, like it is the consistency that LinkedIn wants to see, and LinkedIn starts to reward you with extra view and visibility after a
Hmm.
month or a month and a half, when you have done these things consistently. That is with every aspect, I think, in life. If you exercise, if you do podcast, if you etc., if you are doing consistently, it is the compounding interest that starts to work more and more.
And I'm going back to consistency again because this is so important. And I mentor a lot of people who are starting their podcasts, particularly this new year. It's going to be a big year for podcasting. And
Really?
one of the very first things I will say is if you can't be consistent, if you don't have a plan,
Mm,
go do something different because you're not ready. And I
yeah.
won't even take them as a client because unless they can show me or work with me that they have a strategy, they have goals, they're going to show up. And I've said this for years. My podcast is 17 years old.
Wow.
I started years ago just doing a Friday podcast like this was an interview podcast. And if I couldn't show up on Friday, oh, this happened to me. One of the very first things, probably 6 months into it, I had a gentleman who was turned out to be a very good friend. He's passed away now.
Mm,
And he loved my podcast. He was even a guest at one time, and I didn't show up because I didn't have a guest. I got
mm,
emails from, where are you? Are you okay? What's going on? And that's when I realized that I had made a commitment to my audience, small as they were, that I was going to show up on Friday, and by golly, I showed up on Friday. So now it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
mm.
But I wanted, and I got out of my own way there, in my own way. But consistency, what does LinkedIn want to see in terms of consistency? Is it daily? Is it a certain time of day? What's the best? What do we do for the best results?
Daily, definitely daily.
I do Monday through Sunday without fail.
No, it's not crazy, like you need to be 7 days and etc. It's more like every day you put one comment, something like that, or you post twice a week, for example, and you. So this is the statistics that we have with company accounts, for example. We are managing one company account which has 3,000 followers, and it produces the same engagement. That means comments and likes and etc. that an account that has 25,000 followers, so 10 times bigger. And the main difference is that the bigger account, they are posting so that 1 week they do 2 posts, and 1 week they are doing 0 posts, then third week they are doing 1 post, and then the fourth week in a month they are doing, like, let's say, 3 posts. So there is no consistency, there is no content plan, and also the content is like one time they share, then they do something else, and there is no like consistent cohesive plan. But we are doing minimum 2 posts every week, like Mondays and Thursdays, and that's why we are getting like 10 times better, similar results, that 10 times bigger account, and that is the biggest difference. What I see. Also, the content quality is great, but the consistency is, yeah, uh, you don't need to show, like, even like it is good if you're showing up like every day, but it doesn't mean that you are there every day 1 hour. Even if you are like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and for example, if you are taking the bus, or if you are driving somewhere but are the so to say, not driving but in the back seat, or next to the driver, and then you just on mobile phone, you just write one comment or something like that, in like small, these things, they matter a lot in LinkedIn. And again, like the biggest thing is commenting. If you write meaningful comments that are curious about the other person's post, and don't hijack the conversation, or don't do, like, for example, I had here in Estonia, one of my friends, he posted a long post about he's becoming a mentor, and etc, etc, and then there was a comment in his post, another guy, he wrote that he's not a good mentor, I'm much better, and here is my link to book a mentorship. Like that is basically the worst thing that you can do in LinkedIn, like hijacking.
Instantly block that person.
Exactly.
That's unconscionable. I do
Exactly.
see it and I don't understand it. It's like, who in the heck do you think you are anyway?
Exactly. Exactly. That's basically like you are posting like this is my interview with this and this person, and then somebody comments, "Hey, this is not a good podcast. My podcast is much better." Like what the hell? Like it is so rude, and so like,
You just said what I wanted to say, so thank you.
yeah. So basically, these are some of the things, and a lot of people focus on the algorithm because they think, oh my God, if I know the algorithm, then everything starts to work. I can grow it 5 to 10 times faster. But actually, the algorithm of LinkedIn that you can research, it only starts to work when you are consistent. The first 1 month, first 2 months, try to build, as you mentioned, the consistency, like have a plan, have a content schedule, have like for example, Mondays you post something, Tuesdays you are adding 10 correct people, target audience into your network, Wednesdays you are writing, for example, 10 or 20 comments to different people, Thursday you are posting again, Fridays you're doing something like you're responding to the people that you added into your network, and etc. So having like that kind of a structured plan, and don't worry about the algorithm, do not worry about how many views you're getting, don't worry about are you getting sales leads, and so on. Don't worry about at all, because the first like 3 to 4 months, nothing like that will happen. It also depends on the time you are spending on LinkedIn. If you're spending 10 minutes or 5 hours, totally different results. So I cannot say that nothing will happen. Definitely something will happen. And also you can get really, really good sales results in the first month also, if you are spending more time and doing it very strategically. So again, it then depends a lot on the person who is doing it, and how much time they invest. I think it's the same in podcast. It's in everywhere.
To me, because if you're not showing up and you're not being helpful, if you're showing up to just get in somebody's way, that's not going to work. People will kick you out or they'll just say, go away. I don't want to talk to you anymore. But what I find is the people that I'm following around on Facebook, LinkedIn, They're people like you. They're people like other podcasters that I do business with because I love one of the things that I really love about what my podcast does is it shows people, my audience, people like you, and I'm like, oh, I think I have more hosts for you because this is a big message. It needs to get out, and I will introduce you to a couple more that I have in mind. But here's the thing: if you're not showing up, it's kind of like, you know, in your personal life. If you see somebody once in a while in the grocery store, you're acquaintances, but you're not friends. There's no real connection there. But if you are not nurturing your genuine connections, your family, your friends, how do you suppose that's going to work out for you? And I'm not talking about sales. I'm talking about whether they're going to give you any attention down the road at all.
Exactly, exactly. It's as simple as that, and also so what I'm trying to, so this is also what we're doing in companies. So one thing is using your personal brand, but other bigger companies they need to do is building employer branding, and employer branding is so huge right now because uh, people, especially younger generation, they are following people, and also they need to know the company they go to work with has a mission, or the mission is something they can support. So not to become a small cog in a big company. So nurturing these relationships, because again, people follow people. People follow the people they want to work with, or they want to surround themselves, or from who they can learn. So that is also really important because I in Sweden, for example, I met the CEO of they are a billion-dollar company, but in Sweden they have a division. This guy, he's in his 60s, and it's so unlucky that he is not more active in LinkedIn, because the stories he can tell. Because for example, just like I'm amazed by this person, because he's the CEO of the company. He found out that one other company was on sale with like about $10 million was the price, but he found out 3 weeks before the deal was, so to say, to sold to another company, but he intervened. And then the seller in US said, hey, with 3 weeks it's impossible to close a deal because it takes about 6 months to do the due diligence, etc. And now we have only 3 weeks. But the CEO, he said, no, we don't have 3 weeks, we have 6 weeks, because you are in US and we are in Sweden. We have 8 hours time difference. We also work at nighttime. And then basically, and just the mindset of thinking like that. And then he made the deal. He closed the deal in the 3 weeks. It was 2 years ago, and now the company that was worth 10 million, they are doing 40 million dollars revenue. And it's just amazing, like why I'm telling you this, because there are so many more things that this person can tell and inspire other young people, what they can learn from this amazing CEO, like his mindset that nothing is impossible. When somebody says no, or you cannot do it, he proves the difference. And he also told me that whenever somebody comes to his office and wants to change their job or wants to go away from the company, 95% of the time the people stay in that company, because he convinces and shows them other way they can do the job, and etc. So he's an amazing leader, etc. And these are the people that need to be more and more vocal in LinkedIn, and sharing their war stories, sharing their expertise. It's not that they are best of it, or that you should do exactly what they do, but to inspire other, especially younger generation. And if these people, the more these people start to talk and build their personal brand like that, there is a lot of people who want to follow them, who want to join those companies where these extraordinary people are working, and showing how they do it. And again, they don't need to be liked by everybody, but they will definitely speak to some audience. And again, sorry, I went for a little rant, and just wanted to share this mindset, or the people who should definitely have a voice or build personal brands.
You did. And again, I was scribbling the whole time you were talking. One word that I hear a lot, we're all hearing it a lot, the last few years at any rate, is authenticity. And
Mm,
another word I hear a lot, and I use it, is storytelling. People want to know who you are, why you do what you do, what's in it for them, why should they listen and learn from you. And I think that's something that gets lost. Like you, and when you mentioned your person that couldn't write a response in 30 minutes, I think a lot of people just freeze like, "Oh, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to share. I don't want to get too personal." I will tell you this, being a web developer and working in social media marketing, there's a big difference between personal and personable. Stay
Mm,
personable. Keep your personal stuff out of the room. Just don't do it. But it's a lot more people are just saying, I've got these, like you said, I've got these great stories to tell. Some are funny, some make me look like the idiot that I was at the moment. I've got those stories. But people do resonate to you when they find out that you're human. Yeah, you may have some great experience and, have just done amazing things, but you're human. And I think that's what a lot of people miss. They want to know who you are. They really do. Not
mm,
personal. Don't show me your, washing machine. Just none of that. But it's just get down and get real and let people know that you are human, that you're here to help them.
mm. And yeah, 100%. And also share your mistakes that you made, because every we all make mistakes. There is,
Oh yeah. And mine are funny for the most part. And every once in a while I'm like, I I'll look over my shoulder to see if somebody saw me do or say what I said. I live alone. I don't know why I still look over my shoulder, but I do. Yeah, we make goofies all the time. Share them. They're funny.
of course, and that makes us human, so to say, and especially in the times where the AI is taking over, and a lot of content is written now with AI. So as you mentioned, the top word, the buzzwords, the authenticity, and also be share your stories, and but AI is now taking over, and I see more and more people are making a lot of content, but just to be say honest, like most of it is not that good, because again, like you can see it's made by AI. So the storytelling and authentic. I'm not against AI, 100% not. I think AI is here to stay. It will make our lives much better. But again, like it's AI is basically like our cell phones, our mobile phones, the Zooms, etc. They are working with us, not alone. So again, like the AI, you
Yeah.
need to make sure that
Right.
they work with you and together with you. They're making our lives easier, but it's not that they take 100% of the things.
I love AI. I use it a lot, but I've trained it to speak in my own voice, my own tone, and to make it personable. You know, I I may ask it to write something for me and I'll go, okay, that's a good start. Then I go rewrite it in my own voice. And then I'll turn it back over to AI and say, can you correct my sentence structure? Can you do a bit of tidying up? But for the most part, it's now me. They just clean it up for me. And that works for me.
Exactly. And again, like you are smarter than an average, like you, because you are in tech and you know how to use it. But again, like if a CEO in a I don't know piano factory said, oh, I don't know, let ChatGPT write me a couple of posts and then I post it. That is not the same thing as you are writing it, because you know what it means. Like I need to teach the AI to be like me, to use the right sentences, the correction, etc. So basically, AI is maybe doing 90% of the work for you, but on average, like the people, like I think 90% of people have no idea how to do that. And for them, I really recommend to have a copywriter, to have somebody who can, the AI can do 60% of the work for you. And then the rest, like 30, 40% of the post or the content, let somebody to proofread it, let somebody to put a storytelling inside there. Because for me, AI is not ready yet, that you just put write me posts about pianos and make them personal, and then you put a couple of more keywords in and then they write your story. It is not that yet, so to say. Like you need to be more
Mhm.
careful.
We really do. And I, like I say, I love AI, but I don't depend heavily on it because I'm me. I don't want my voice to be stripped. from me. And unfortunately, that's, in my opinion, what's happening with a lot of people. They, oh, this looks good. This sounds good. It makes me look smart. Maybe for about half a second.
Yeah.
Because once people read that and go, yes, but who are you? Yeah, this is well written. I didn't know you were a professor. I thought you were a house painter. You
Mm,
know, you have to be careful how you let AI show up for you. But, and you were talking about storytelling. I think that's so important. As a podcaster, I've always thought that was massively important.
mm,
But some people are just not comfortable with that. Not maybe not yet. But here's what I would tell you, and I'd like to have your opinion on this. If you're writing something and AI has written it for you or corrected it for you, read it to yourself out loud. Does
mm,
that really sound like something you would say? Does that sound like something you would say to somebody in the grocery store or on the phone? Does that even sound like you? And if the answer is no, sit down, write it in your own voice, and then send it over to AI Chat GPT or Perplexity, whichever one
mm,
wherever you want to go, and say, listen, this is what I've got. Can you tidy this for me? It's amazing what happens at that point. But if you can't read it out loud and go, oh, this sounds just like me,
mm,
scrap it, start over.
mm. 100% agree. And the thing is also, not everybody needs to be a content writer or knows how to write. Then again, like it is totally fine to ask for help or get somebody who can help you. So and again also you need to be wary of the time. Like where is your return of investment the best? Is it writing LinkedIn post or is it commenting or maybe you are an amazing, I don't know, financial advisor, but you have no idea how LinkedIn works. Then again, like hire the people who can do this for you, and you focus on the work that you do the best, and make sure that the social media, whatever platform you're using, is it Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or TikTok, whatever it is, make sure that these professionals they will help you how to make it, because again, like you don't need to be expert of everything. Like again, like if you are earning maybe I don't know $150 an hour, then hire somebody who makes some work that is costing maybe $70 an hour or $100 an hour. That is still less money that you will make an hour, and let them help you to grow your company or your business or personal brand, whatever the focus is for you. So again, like that's why you have experts. And to be honest, if the same is for me, I'm not a very good writer. I can speak a lot, as you guys can hear. I can uninterruptedly speak for hours. I don't even need to breathe in the between sometimes. But the thing is, I'm not very good post writing. But here I have ChatGPT, I have some other AI tools, and then I have my own copywriters who help me. And again, like for me, the process is, for example, because I like to talk, I use voice. I go to ChatGPT. I have an idea, and then I use my voice, the voice recorder. That hey, write this LinkedIn post, and then I 1 to 2 minutes speak what I think is a post. Then it will tidy it up, and then I give that to my copywriters. The copywriters will maybe edit it for another 5 to 10 minutes, and then the post is ready basically. So again, like there are different procedures to make it a little bit easier. But coming back to the beginning where we started, you need to have the goals, you need to have your target audience, you need to know your plan, what is the purpose, and etc. Because then everything is 5 to 10 times easier to execute if you have that strategic overview and plan.
Really impressed that we're both using the same term in different areas. Use your own voice. Use your own voice. It's so important. I wanted to, since we're still in LinkedIn, I wanted to ask you, newsletters, how important are they? I just started mine about a year ago and I show up every Wednesday and I write a newsletter. It's doing very well, which I admit surprised me a bit, but how important are they for the algorithm for reaching to an audience?
Mm. To be honest, I don't know about the algorithm so much with the newsletters. I have not studied so much, but I know that the newsletter are quite important because the thing is especially in LinkedIn, people choose to follow you and your newsletter. And if you give them quality content there, then again, you have, and also the thing is, you are owning that audience. Again, like what I also try to tell people who have the newsletter, try to get those people's email addresses, because if ever something happens with your LinkedIn account, you still have the emails. And the thing is, again, like people trust your tone of voice. They are following you with reason, and as long as you keep the personal relationship with them, then the newsletters are really really good things. Company newsletters in LinkedIn, we haven't seen that they work so much, because the thing what most companies do wrong in LinkedIn is they only, a lot of them focus on products, like, hey, look at our product is this, we have a new product, and nobody cares about your product. So again, like people first, case studies, give value. And also LinkedIn is heavily value driven. The more value you give them, the better results you're getting them. So, and with the newsletter it's the same. I'm pretty sure with your newsletter also, you're sharing them value, you're sharing their your expertise and knowledge, and that's why it's doing so well.
Haven't really talked about how do you get this information out. With LinkedIn posts, you really can't. I mean, you can't just, hey, go over here and look at this unless you're sending an email or you're doing something internally. However, with a newsletter, you can send that all over social media, and I do.
Mm, nice.
So that's something to keep in mind. You can take that link and you can put it on Twitter. You can put it, you can even take a bunch of the copy,
Mm.
take an image, of the image that you use for the headline, and put part of it on Instagram and say, read the rest of it, go to LinkedIn. So it's something to think about. Anyway, I wanted to, what emerging trends do you see transforming LinkedIn marketing and personal branding in this new year, 2025? Is there anything that you're really looking at that's got your attention?
Yeah, so LinkedIn is heavily focused on video formats right now in the coming, it already is, but again, like it's the videos, like 30 to 90-second videos, and it already has built, like, so to say, the feed like in Instagram, that you can scroll it, and it will show you more short videos. So that is definitely a trend that LinkedIn is focusing on it right now. And then there are a couple of company profile update changes, for because we are managing quite a lot of company pages, so that is quite important for us. That but personal, so to say, pages got a major update some months ago, that for paid users, if somebody hasn't seen, if you have a paid account, you can put multiple background images and create it as a carousel. Basically, for example, some of salespeople use it. For example, in the bigger companies, they know that they have, for example, 4 different events that they will go this year, and then they make the background image. Hey, I'm 4th to 12th April. I will be in Barcelona, and then automatically is the next slide is that 7th to 8th August I will be in Stockholm or something like that. Contact me, or set up a meeting, like that kind of a rotating banner for me is quite interesting, because we do a lot of profile makeovers and lead generation with personal profiles. So these are a couple of things that are happening, and LinkedIn is doing a lot of changes, which let's say they've been promising that you can speak with your followers for company pages, but they have said the last 1.5 years, which still hasn't happened today. Sometimes it happened, but it's difficult to know what else to look for. They are just announcing it a couple of months before they do it, so to say. So, but couple of things I mentioned.
Well, remember what I told you at the top of the hour when I started my LinkedIn account? I found it boring as heck. And I
Mm,
did for a number of years. And, it's just in the last 4 or 5 years, I'm like, oh, okay, I need to spend more time over there. And then after Facebook said, bad Denise, we don't like you anymore, I said, okay, fine. And that's when I really started taking LinkedIn a lot more seriously, and I'm enjoying it. But it's not what it was. And that's what you're saying. It's just back in the day, it was just, here, go post something. And,
Yeah.
there wasn't much interaction. Now, of course, there is. I wanted to ask you too, and I've got all kinds of questions for you. What is it when somebody wants to reach you? And this is really a two-part question. I think you had mentioned hire somebody, hire the professionals. What questions should we be asking professionals so we don't just, like, there are so many people say, oh, I'm an expert at this. Turns out they're not so much. How do we avoid those? How do we find the true experts?
Yeah, that's a good question. So it all also depends what is your goal? Like, is it you want to get more impressions, you want to get more leads, you want to build personal brand, or you want to build company branding? And I think the same is with how to find an expert is basically like what you have done 17 years of podcast. So I can already assume you're a extraordinary your expertise is
I'm a
amazing.
subject matter expert, no question about it. I didn't
So
start out that way, but over time it happened.
exactly, and that's the same with LinkedIn, etc. The expertise and for example, yeah, there is also a lot of LinkedIn agents and etc. So, but one thing I would definitely put in mind, for example, if you're hiring an expert to manage your account and or company account, and if they just tell you, hey, yeah, let's start making content, then I would avoid them because if they were also asked you what is the purpose, what is the goal, who's your target audience, if they don't even have proposed that, hey, let's take a look at your profile and we need to do a makeover of it because it needs to it need to it needs to match your target audience because if you're for example if your target audience is for let's say for companies and recruiting and you go to the company profile and then if you go to the company profile and you have no idea in 3 to 5 seconds what does the company do or in what field they working and then you go to the about section where there's nothing written about your mission statement what are you standing for, what is your mission, and all these things. If there is absolutely nothing written there, and they are making content for you, then these are not experts. These are just people who just want to take your budget and because again, like the thing is, if for example with personal and company profiles, you're becoming more active. Let's say you're adding 5 comments per day and making one post a week. The thing is, if your profiles are not optimized for your target audience, the people who come to visit your profile, they will go away because there is nothing written for them in your profile and there is no point for them to contact you. But you need to have call of actions there. You need to have what's in for them if they contact you and etc. So make sure that the people you're working with and the people you hire with, they will build a foundation and they also have reasons why we are doing it. It's just that hey, let's start to do content. Content is content and content. There's a huge difference, so to say. If you make quality content or you just make content for content's sake. So I don't know, a couple of these things come to mind.
Yeah, and you're correct. And we've mentioned it a couple of times, what's in it for them. As a web developer, the first thing I ask, when I'm consulting with somebody, well, what's in it for your audience? And this, oh, well, I can do this. No, 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 no. Why would they come visit you? What do
Mm,
they see when they walk in the door? If they don't see almost instantly what's in it for them, they're gone. We
yeah.
used to call that a bounce. Now it's a door slam. They don't even stick around. And I'm going to say it's the same with social media. If you can't clearly and coherently let your audience know what's in it for them, whether they want to come on the podcast, whether they need a website, whether they need you to help them with their LinkedIn profile, what's in it for them. And if we can all keep that top of mind, what's in it for them, it's not about you. Trust me, it's not about you. It's what's in it for them. Once you get that mindset in your head, I think you'll do a whole lot better on social media.
100%. And I totally agree. And again, like that's the whole aspect of LinkedIn and life is like if you help others and give advice to others and if you give value to others, people will come and they will help you also. So that's how life works. As I think it was Zig Ziglar who mentioned like
I was
uh,
just going to say that's a Zig Ziglar quote. I know exactly what you're talking about. If you
exactly.
give enough people what they want, something along those lines.
Yeah.
I should know it, but yeah, Zig Ziglar, absolutely. Listen, thank you, Indrek, for being with me here today. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and I've taken so many notes, and I thank you. Do you have any final thoughts to share, and where can our audience connect with you and work with you if they choose to?
Yeah, so no, it's been a pleasure also, and it's always easy when I talk, so it's easy for me to say. But again, like it's been great, and the time has flown by, and I think the easiest place to collaborate with me is through LinkedIn. You can find me like again like Indrek Põldvee is without the e's and o's. But I also pretty sure that people can find my LinkedIn link in the notes. You can contact me, or the company name is B2B so business to business growth. So basically,
To our audience, in today's episode of Your Partner in Success Radio, my guest is a LinkedIn expert, and he told me not to try to pronounce his last name, but his first name is Indrek. But he shared practical strategies for enhancing your professional presence on the platform. I was taking notes like crazy. And he discussed effective ways to leverage LinkedIn for networking, personal branding, and content creation that resonates with your audience. And that's so important. It has to resonate with your audience. Excuse me. So be sure to connect with Indrek on LinkedIn today and go find his. Tell us again one more time what's the URL?
you mean the company name?
Yes.
B2B.eu.
Okay, great. So go find him and connect with him and listen to what he's got to say. He knows what he's talking about. Thank you, everybody, and I will see you next week. Indrek, thank you so much.
No, thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure.
Get your voice heard. If you would like to launch your own far-reaching podcast, contact Denise Griffiths at yourofficeontheweb.com and go to the podcast tab.